And just like that, welcome to Wednesday. You are not seeing problems. Rad is joining tonight on this lovely Wednesday evening. Thank you for tuning in. This is Toy Box Chronicles, America's premier premium extraordinaire sexiest toy podcast on the internet, on YouTube. Mr. Rad, it is great to see you on a Wednesday, sir. How are you doing?
Good, man. I was able to block some time off the calendar. I got my my professional makeup artist in the sat in the chair for an hour, got ready for the cast. I'm ready to go. I'm replacing such a sexy fellow like Alex. I had to had to make it work.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, look, it was a lot. It was either you or nothing, man, because there is a certain level of sex appeal that needs to exist on this show. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Look, guys, we have a fantastic show tonight. If you're all wondering where Alexander Thunderous Storm is, well, he decided that in order to celebrate the 75th episode, he was going to go yacht shopping. So that's, I told him he could have one of mine. Rad offered a couple of his, and he decided he wanted to go buy his own yacht, and he took Dr. Brentley, who is apparently in chat right now. Welcome in, Dr. Brentley. Hey, we have a really good show. We really only are going to talk about a few things because there is some kind of like weird stuff happening right now. But if you're wondering if HasLabs can build slow and still be successful, we're going to go over Snow-Cat. And then when you thought Loyal Subjects was doing everyone a favor, they pull out some shady shit. And that's crazy. And then we have a special show happening on Sunday. We'll get into that. And then Friday's Pixel Plastic Ink, and we'll get into that and more. So stay tuned. And if you are just joining us, like, subscribe, click that thumbs up, do all the goodies for everything. And we'll be right back in 2 and 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I tried to superimpose your face on that, and it didn't look good. So I just I just kind of left it alone.
It's all good.
Hey man, how are you doing? How have you been holding up with the pre-order debacle of madness that's been happening?
It is crazy. I feel like I'm gonna save this money because this is here comes another one. Here comes a figure, and now it's the ultimate dilemma of like I have to say no to things. Which is a good place to be, toy industry, but also bad place to be personally, financially. So yeah. And then San Diego Comic-Con around the corner. Like, what the hell, man? We're just getting hit left and right. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's wild, man. You and I have been talking, and like we're gonna get into the whole M.A.S.K thing on Friday, but like that launches, San Diego launches. Then we have Kickstarters that are ending that are also like it has been crazy. Let us know what you guys are pre-ordering in the comments. And we'll see what we could do. Let's head over to Fanbag and see who's in here right now. We have Meek saying LOL to what? I have no fucking clue, but LOL back at you. Transformers G Run. It does actually run 24/7. Commander Bly, good evening, sir. And then Meeks was gonna say that Alexander is looking a little light today.
Yeah. Alex is morph. He can just whatever he wants to turn. So tonight he's rad.
Good evening, Dr. Brentley. Welcome in. Darth of the Moochers is hitting us up, and yes, Commander Bly, another yacht. And I do agree with you as well. Steve should have been on the graphics change, but I've been having problems with Steve way back in the days of when I was streaming over on Twitch. That guy, in Rad, you've been there the whole time. He was messing up my arcades. There's a lot of shit that guy was messing
I've
up.
never met someone that's been fired and rehired 27 times. Poor Steve, but he still sticks with us, man. It must be, just must be the good, healthy work environment.
Good. He's got benefits that he pays for on his own. What could he ask? What more could he ask for? Look, let's get into it. So for those of you that don't know, the HasLab is a snowcat, and we all kind of realize that that's where it was going. And it looks kind of like the internet has also decided that it knew where it was going, with the GI Joe HasLab. I mean, what do you think about this progress, man? We are like, it's like I don't. It's that's probably 70. That's like about 75% way to like the target of 8,000. But what are your overall? Because like you and I aren't as big of like Joe fans as Alex is and some others, but
Yeah.
we do appreciate like a good HasLab.
Yep.
Vehicles are definitely like your thing and my thing. So what is your overall take on? What is this going to be like? Your no, you backed the Ghostbusters one too, right? Or no, you missed
I
that.
did the Ecto, and then
Yeah.
this one. I backed this one early on,
Okay.
early out of the gate. Yep. I look. I think it's interesting to see the statistics here. But I think it's my personal opinion is two things. One is I think it's pre-order madness, and I
Mhm.
think people may just be like there's so much stuff hitting.
Mhm.
Like we just said, we're having like I'm sure everyone's feeling the wallet pinch, right? Marvel's hitting. So if you're a significant collector of all things, it's difficult to prioritize. And this is, big thing. We just talked about Mezco. They just dropped their car at 325. So that's another vehicle that just hit. And a couple months ago, you got, you know, uh, the the dragon for $1,000, and you got,
Yeah, I forgot
mythic
about that too. Yeah.
Mythic Legions, and the Horsemen just dropped a new wave of figures that you can pre-order now, and Star Wars. It's
That was
just so
300
much
that
stuff.
was 345 bucks,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
for the wave, and you got that's money up front. So I think there's a lot of that. And then I think secondly, what we said, I joined the cast when this, dropped on Monday of right last week, or whenever it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah.
I think the Arctic thing's it's a little interesting. It doesn't fit with a lot of like if you're a massive Joe collector, you might be excited here. But like if it's someone like me, I like Joe, I collect HasLabs, but I'm still trying to figure out where this fits within diorama or display. Like it's just an outlier to everything else. So it is definitely slow. I don't know if people are just waiting.
Mhm.
But it is interesting that now it's been some time and it's definitely slowed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the slower ones. The his tank was funded in under 9 hours, right?
That's wild. Jeez.
Dragonfly was funded in 26 hours, 23 minutes. Rattler was funded in less than 24 hours. So you can kind of see like where it hits on what people want, right? Is like and I remember when the his tank was going too, like that was a very quick a very quick HasLab, which I believe was like one of the was like the right after a failed one too, if I remember correctly. So um yeah, I think there's a lot of burnout. Like, if you follow a lot of like the indie toy lines, uh the HasLab has always done really well depending on what the tiers are, with the exception of the Rattler, because the Rattler was like your first tier is a bunch of patches that no one's gonna have and whatever. Which my assumption with the Rattler is like if you just hold on to the patches, people there's gonna be some kind of like weird resurgence. People are gonna want the patches, but no one's gonna have them because they all threw them away. So then your patches get like exponentially more expensive.
You gave it to
Um,
your bratty nephew's 8 who like, put it on his
you
like,
just
jacket at school and was like, holy crap,
yeah,
they're grail patches now, 20 years from now.
yeah. It's like collecting Pokemon cards.
Hmm.
Um, Commander Blythe said Snowcat more like Slowcat. Yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. Check out the snow snail over here. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. I think there's a lot hitting up, and like the goals here, I don't really know. I can't guess which goals we're gonna hit. Right at this rate, well, we have 36 days left for this to fund. Do you see us hitting the 14,000 goal?
I mean, it's they get the massive wave at the end, right? I think it go there might be this. let's see what drops at San Diego Comic-Con type of collector's mentality. And once
Mhm.
Comic-Con passes, people will decide, okay, now I want to fund it. So there might be some like of that going on. 14,000 based on just under 7 today. It's going to take a lot of pre-orders, but I think people are probably pacing. It's going to fund. There's
Yeah.
I have strongest conviction that it will. I think the 14,000 is a question mark, but in 2 weeks time, I think I'll feel confident of whether or not it's going to hit. But out of all the things, that's probably the coolest unlock, right? If anything, they was smart to put Flint. I mean, the sunny side up eggs alone is worth like I'm all in. If it didn't have the
I
sunny side eggs in the in that pan, I'd think twice. But
I mean,
yeah,
you're excited about the A's. I'm with Commander Bly here. Alex is sandbagging this HasLab because he hates camping so much. I think that's a true statement. But hey, I think more people are more excited about the fish, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, the one in the middle with the camping gear. You unlock that, you get a little fish. But yeah, man, I don't know about this. I think they were talking when they talked about like which by the way we had said is like so on this one previously this when we took this screenshot this is at 6690 and right now currently it's 6730 so
it's
it's
moved.
not really it's moving but it hasn't really gone like
Yeah, yeah,
all the way where it should have gone right
yeah.
but
Well,
when
I just want to call out Micah's comment in the chat because that's precisely why I get them,
yep
because I don't
yep
want to a year from now going, ah, man, I actually want it, and then I'm on the bay,
yep
unless you know somebody, it gives you a hookup, and now I'm paying $600 for the damn snowcat. So
yeah
exactly, and look, I think you probably be able to resell. You probably get your money back at least. So if you've got the money to put up and just kind of wait, but yeah, I don't want to be in that position to
right
do that. I mean, I already see the Rattler resales. These haven't even come out yet, but the pre-sale, it's just I'm a fan of that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's quite a few people that actually have gotten them, and it's kind of like you can already see where the value's going for the Rattler. Do you think that there's anything that they could have done to get the Snowcat to fund faster, or do you think it's just they just got hit with
Yeah, different vehicle. Just get rid of if it wasn't a snowcat. That's the obvious. That's the
just
obvious. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
obvious. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, I think it would have been cool if they did, hey, this is the snowcat. By the way, here's a sneak peek over the next 12 months of Arctic winter related vehicles and sets and figures we're
sure,
releasing.
yeah,
More to come on dates TBD, but like this is the staple to that line or that
yeah,
wave. And we assume that's going to happen, but we don't know.
yeah.
So it's like then you got to
That
go
would have been
you got to go source your own type of winter vehicles.
yeah. So I think that would have been a really cool way to launch the HasLab for JoJo June is to announce everything. And Micah said got all other GI Joe HasLabs at release. Yeah, I think that's the default. Like, I'm more of the like, into Cobra. That's kind of all what I do is Cobra. But when it's a HasLab, it doesn't matter. I'll buy it. I like vehicles. But I think what would have been cool is if like throughout like if they would have ended Yojo June the way they did with this HasLab, right? But then to lead up to it, they announced the Arctic line or some version like you were talking about these are what's coming out. And then the last one they announced this is the first wave of it. And then you knew what to get afterwards. So it started to like plan everything right. And like one of the things like Alex said previously is he wishes this would have had like a roof over the top so it could be more like a troop carrier. And that would have been something that you're like, oh crap, are they going to release that like like later on down the line. So
Yeah.
And then Commander Blythe says the Mobat. Yeah, the Mobat
Yeah.
definitely would have. That would have for sure sold. Odd Frog, welcome in. It's a snow vehicle selling in summer. Yep.
Yeah. How do we
And
not
then
have a Joe tank? Which is odd to me. You know, we got the his tank, but how do we not? I think that's what would have sold faster for sure. What's interesting here is like to talk
good
about
move.
Arctic related figures. Um, the new Mythic Legions wave, you got that badass polar bear. You buy
Mm-hmm.
that, but even if you're not in the horseman line, you get that you get that polar bear and put it up against the snowcat, and now you got a
Yeah.
winter scene.
Yeah,
Now
and
you got a
so it just adds more, like that werewolf is the one that I want because it's gigantic.
yeah.
But to get that whole set, it was what, 345, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you had
Yeah.
that, you have this, which is 325, right? And then one of the things that I really, really dislike, right? Okay, so everyone that watches the channel, you either know, maybe you don't, I'm not sure, but Rad, you're aware of my obsession with M.A.S.K. And so, you know, what Loyal Subjects just did, I feel is pretty trashy. I understand it. I get it. But they announced, hey, here's this like San Diego Comic Con exclusive with T Bob and Scott. It was like 179, and the difference was instead of it just being like the standard Rhino or the mobile defense unit, it was like, it was where it was chromed out. It was like extra chromy and had like extra features. So I was like, cool, I got that. And then out of nowhere they do this. And they released the 40th anniversary version that granted, like I understand this sold out. I was tempted to buy it, but it was 150. I This bothered me. This release bothered me. I wish it would have come with like the T-Bob and Scott as well, but this was I don't know. What are your thoughts on how they did this?
Yeah, I get like I'm not a fan of special releases, editions right off the rip. Like it it's a little insulting. Cash grab, it sold out. Whatever. I'm not a mass collector. Not been a
Yeah.
giant fan. I know you're diehard, but I could see how it could rub people the wrong way here. With just like, hey, we're just gonna like different color scheme and we're gonna throw a price on it, and hey, it worked. People bought it up, so it's like, why not release 10 different versions, like a all gold one or like a rose colored. I mean, where does it stop? I
Yeah.
guarantee you, now that they've done this, wait till you see other renditions of the waves. You're gonna see all kinds of wild shit at this point. So it's gonna make you so happy, chat. You're gonna see all different
I
versions. Trust me, this was the gateway to test the market. Holy crap, it sold out in what, 48 hours?
the under,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. So Mama Mask is gonna be Mama Money, and they're gonna be releasing all
Yeah.
kinds of fun stuff for you to collect.
Yeah. Let's see. Micah said all vehicles should be bigger by default. Yep, I agree with you on that. And then Commander Blythe said this is a pass. Yeah, look, it was a pass for me. I did get, like I said, I got the SDCC, but I just think it's just a money grab. And look, I knew it was going to be a money grab, and I knew it'd be a successful one because people were going to, but the people are literally buying this just specifically to resell it. Um, yeah, it's not a cash grab. If it works, it's called a moneymaker. Yeah, that's unfortunate. This is
I mean, Dr. Brantley's part of the Loyal Subjects marketing team. We didn't disclose that, but I
it's
mean,
just
comes in the chat and bye. Come on, man.
yeah. I look, it is what it is. I mean, is it cool? Yeah, I guess it looks cool. I just think that they should have presented. They published the San Diego Comic Con one all the way to get that out, and they also at the same time released the regular version. I just think they could have released all three of them at the same time, but it's like you said, they're gonna release these, and they're gonna make it so it's like, you know, they're gonna theme out all the next ones. They're Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their game plan is on this, man. Because I would rather see them spend all of the time and effort they're doing into like color weighing a product into like what Alex and I have talked to in the past, and you, I mean, you and I have even talked about it. Is like let's see them produce some like non-released versions, right? So all of the vehicles that didn't get released were released as a different line under Kenner, and I'm spacing on the name, but I've been looking into like grabbing them. But I think where it would be time well spent is looking into releasing ones that hadn't been released before instead of just colorwaying something like black and gold and saying, hey, it's the 40th anniversary. Because like, are we going to get a 40th anniversary like Switchblade? And then is there going to be like another 40th anniversary? And checking in from his yacht, Alexander
We
Storm.
knew it. We knew it.
Knew it.
You know,
This guy out here yacht shopping with Starlink or whatever.
25,000 miles in the middle of the ocean and
Still
Starlinking
time to
into the chat. You know, and thank you,
still
Mr.
yeah
Storm. It is a cash grab. Let's not
yeah
no mistake about it. They were not
yeah.
thinking of the fans when they painted this bad boy black and gold.
They are just trying to get a bigger yacht to me. You know what? They're not going to get a bigger yacht to me. Who is this Alexander clown in the chat? You've been recast, buddy.
By the way, 1/18th is taking over the world, man. Jeez.
Oh, dude, I
So
like.
it's scary. It's I mean we talked about it with you know, World War Hell, and
Mhm.
you know, now we're Mask is back. Like it's danger zone.
Well, okay. Here's a question for you about Mask, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit. So, my absolute all-time favorite line, which I have just come to the conclusion, especially after you sent me that Instagram post, that I will never have the full collection of my favorite line. Dino Riders has
The
to
most
be my
epic.
favorite.
Yeah.
It's the
But
most epic
is
line.
that a
It's my
$1 million
favorite line.
collection? It's got to be a $1
That
million
what that guy had?
collection.
No, that's like that's on the border of $2 million. Like
Nuts.
that guy's collection that he sent me, and I was trying to find it, and I don't know why I couldn't find it. But what you sent me on Instagram for Dino Riders blew my mind, and we will have photos of it on Friday's show. I'll make sure that we grab photos of it to talk about it. But I absolutely love Dino Riders, but those are so damn expensive to buy, even just one. And so my question is that Mask is the same scale, right? So Mask is the same size, it's the same scale. I have one of the Dino Riders, but it's like it's literally like the same scale. Do you think that it is Mattel that owns it? That Mattel is thinking like, should we bring Dino Riders back, knowing that Mask is a success? They have to be watching that, right?
I don't know what the delay. I don't know the logistics behind like the IP. You know, I don't know all that. I would just say why hasn't already been out? The popularity of dinosaurs. I would bring that cartoon back. I would pop that bad boy on Netflix. I would sell merch. Something must be happening there. There must be some licensing issues. 'Cause I can't imagine, like, what's the holdup? Like, I went into Walmart, man, there's, like, wall-to-wall dinosaur toys from the Jurassic Park, and when the Jurassic Park is not in theaters, it's still dinosaurs everywhere.
It is.
So, there's something else that we may not know of, but, like, please that would be something I'd buy. I never got my
Yeah.
hands on any of those. They're such a rare commodity now, especially mint, even opened. I mean, those things are fetching 10, 12. They're, like, up there with TMNT in terms of, like, mint in box.
Oh,
It's just
dude.
nuts. Like,
It,
scarcity was
yeah.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. A Mask in Jurassic Park and do it now. I
What's the
1,000%
scale
agree.
of, so are they smaller? Like, what's the size of Dino
Two and
Riders?
they're 2.75. I can grab one. I'll
Okay.
show you. Hold on.
Yeah. So the Dino Riders is the same. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're waiting for.
Yeah.
I'd be
So Dino Riders and Mask are the same size. Let me show you. I haven't taken this thing out in a long time. So this is the Dino Rider guy, right?
Okay.
So he's super.
So is he's like Starcom size?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
star. This was all like
yeah,
Starcom size, and then this is the dinosaur,
yeah. What are they
right?
waiting for?
So I
I
don't know,
want to. I'd love the
dude.
research. Something's
Dude,
been
not only
blocking
that, but
that.
this is why I like them. Are you ready for this? Like, look at this.
I mean,
Like
boom.
they all have moving parts like this, like everything. Like I don't understand why they're not bringing this back. These are like I
Look,
don't know. I'm
put
in the
that.
process of selling all my shit to just start building out my Dino Rider collection because all these other toys like I just don't necessarily care about anymore. So
Repack that bad boy with that figure and include a pan with Sunnyside eggs, and I'm all in. I want every Dino Riders figure to have eggs.
and so that we know that Alexander Storm buys it, camping gear, dude. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, look at this, right? Like this dude flying, right? He's like flying on his dinosaur, okay, right?
Hmm.
But then he's got camping gear in the back. Come on,
Yeah. And look, I've got the perfect guy to direct this. Uh, Michael
dude.
Bay
James Gunn.
dinosaurs. Michael Bay.
Oh,
Let's have
Michael
a
Bay would be good.
Michael
Dino
Bay
Riders.
Dino Riders
Yep,
and
I agree.
Nick Cage starring role. We're talking $1 billion internationally. And
Commander,
I know that Dr. Brantley's a huge fan of Nick Cage, so
he is. He is. Yeah,
he'd be
he's.
first in line.
Well, he already bought his tickets to the John Madden movie. Um, that dinosaurs are real. So, Commander Bly, if you don't believe me, just look at a bird without the feathers, and you'll know that dinosaurs are real. Mattel isn't thinking forward. I agree, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that's weird about the licensing, which I wonder if that is a thing because remember they bought Tyco, and Dino Riders was all Tyco, so you
Hmm.
know. But yeah, so I think they should bring it back because Mask is doing so well. Dino Riders would blow the hell up. But moving on, how do you feel about the rumored price of the Ross exclusives from McFarlane? from,
Um.
from McFarlane? Sorry.
Wait, can I? So I want to go back to Dino Riders real quick because I just did a search because
Yeah.
I'm so curious. Okay.
Okay.
So, cost of production. Here's the reason why they haven't. Cost of production. Dino Riders line was known for its detailed dinosaur molds, which are very expensive to produce. So reissuing such a line today could be more costly. The durability issues. Some were fragile, with prone to breaking, and then reusing old modes. Dino Riders molds were reportedly purposed for a Smithsonian dinosaur toy line. It's unclear if Mattel still has the rights or ability to reuse those specific molds for the new Dino Riders line. So there you have it. It might be like they sold the molds off to someone else and they no longer hold the rights. But okay, just make new ones. Like it'd be cool if you repop the old figures, but you could just recreate the line. People would be into it. So there you have it from Google.
Google, man. That guy knows
Yeah.
everything, dude.
Sorry, I just had to get that. Yeah, the Ross
No, I
figures.
mean,
It's
yeah,
a
I
no
think
for
it's
me,
well,
dog. It's gonna be a
yeah,
no for me, dog.
yeah. Well, I think that's important because hold on. I don't know why there's a camping thing started. Because we were talking about how you were a huge fan of this middle tier and that you wanted it to unlock. And so that's why the HasLab, that's what we were talking about. You love camping gear. So, but yeah, okay, Ross figures. Sorry, let's get back to Ross figures. This is a note for me. And I think that $15, I'll just wait until they hit the other side of Ross to get them for like $5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, look, it's cool for affordability. Kids want figures. They're going into Ross, buying some of the discount stuff with their parents. $15, great price. It's perfect for them, right? Um, get your 6-year-old a Batman it can throw against the wall that doesn't cost you $25 plus from McFarlane. I'm all for it, man. That's great. Mass market figure. I just
Mhm.
not a collector's figure. Not a collector's figure. But it's great. I think Marvel should follow suit instead of just the damn that Spider-Man that they have
Oh, I know.
sitting on peg hooks for years. Create a couple more affordable stuff and throw it in there too. even if it sits
Yeah.
on Walmart pegs. But it's always been like 1 or 2 figures. You go in there every day, see the same damn figure. Like the kids don't want it. Give them something fresh and new,
Yeah.
at $15 price point, and see what
Yep.
happens. But
Yep. Let's
um,
see. McFarlane, our Stoffing Stuckers. Commander Blythe rather do his taxes. Batman looks terrible. Why would I pay for a McFarlane Ross exclusive for 15 when most regular McFarlane figures cost $4.99?
yeah, well, I mean that's the argument is like wait a couple weeks after the movie,
Yeah.
and you'll find them cheaper.
Yeah, you get
The
them at
actual
Ollie's.
ones, yeah, that are available like through McFarlane Direct or whatever. But look,
Hey,
I'm
do
not
you
against lower priced figures. It's just they're cheap and not collector's figures.
do you think that Ross sells its products it can't sell to Ollie's?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
where do these McFarlane figures go if they have to buy them direct and then they don't sell?
I think I want to be a Ross scalper. I'm gonna go in and buy all the $15 and then sit outside and sell them for 22.
Yeah, I
You
mean, you
know?
could. People will
Yeah.
buy them just because you have them and they don't have them.
Maybe I'll go viral like the Ross scalper, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's about as much time as we need to put into McFarlane figures because I'm not sure what is happening over there because I went to Walmart and looked in their like collector movement where they moved it to the vinyl records. And I was like, so you moved all of your figures into the locations where the majority of Walmarts lock it all up behind glass.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good move.
Yeah, it's
Don't
great.
touch it. Just
I went into Walmart and I had to ring the doorbell to get the deodorant behind the jail cell. So that tells you everything you need to know about what's
yeah.
happening in the state of California.
Yeah. Well, hey, moving on to some better things. Right now, if you're living under a rock, we'd like to inform you that Amazon as well as Hasbro and some other places are having some kind of like weird sale, right? And it's Amazon Prime deals. Look, if you want a Technodrone, you are not going to find a Technodrone from Play School any cheaper than or Playmates. Play School. This isn't Play School. Playmates. $33, man.
It's a great price. Great price. They must be having a lot of these bad boys in the warehouse, that's for sure.
Oh, they for sure do. I think that they probably overproduced it, which is fine. I just think that if you really wanted one, like, and this is basically like line for line replica. I think that this is $33 is probably where you should probably buy it and have it.
Yeah.
I would, but as I said, I'm offloading a lot of my stuff to buy start building up the Dino Riders collection. But yeah, this is good. You got this one, and then you have if you're looking to build your vehicle collection, the the Cobra Stinger,
Great
$69.
price.
That's such a good deal. Now
Yeah.
it's not as good as the deals what I got when I went to to the show in December last year, but hey, it's still good. It's
Yeah.
still great. Brand new inbox. Like if you just wanted an extra one for like photography or something, like this is a very good deal. I think it's a great car. It sits well. Did you buy this? I know you said you've been buying vehicles. Is this one you got?
I got this for actually cheaper when you I think you pinged me a couple weeks back
Yeah.
and it was actually lower. I got it and then I ordered the gridiron tires that were like $35. And
Hmm.
so for the price of the normal fig and vehicle, I got an upgraded tire version of this piece and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Did you put them on already?
They're arriving like, but if you go on their site, it's designed for this. If you see it, the off-road tires, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
epic. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
coming.
And then
I'll pop those
you
on.
also bought the vamp too, right?
Yep, yep.
When that was cheaper.
And the same thing. The tires, put the tires on it, man. It upgrades it so significant.
Hugh Hefner had the best playmates. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is correct, and they were at a good price. I don't know if he's talking about the same thing here, but that is very true. Yeah, look, I'm on the fence about. I already have one, but I think a second one would be kind of cool for photography. But then I realized that's $69 towards one of the multiple $100 things that I'm purchasing. But the quality on this is good. And then we don't really get into Star Wars too much because the Sarlacc Digest, which is the best damn podcast ever for Star Wars, they get into this, but there is $54 for 3 figures, man. it's such a good deal.
Yeah, and to get a Vader too is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. You're not a big Star Wars Black Series collector, right?
I am not. No, I am not. But
Is there
I don't
anything
know.
from the Black Series that you like?
I like a lot of the like the Mandalorian figures are cool in Black Series, but I just never got into it. The one thing that I did appreciate about the Black Series, I'm always a fan of how, if you're an inbox collector, things sit on a shelf, and I loved some of the early releases of even some of the newer ones where like you could stack them and you'd see the face of the character. Some of them were kind of weird shaped
Mm-hmm.
and some
Mm-hmm.
were square like McFarlane box, but I loved, if you were a Star Wars collector, you could bookshelf them and you'd see them all very easily. Like, the Joe stuff, they have the number line, whatever. But I think Star Wars art was kind of cool, but I just never
Yeah.
got into it, man. So many figures you got to say no to something.
Yeah, I think, and then I know I've had the conversation with Moocher, and he's offloading a bunch of his stuff, which I took, and then he took some of my stuff. But it's like he's narrowing down his collection. I think that's what everyone's coming to because of everything that we're seeing being launched right now, which
Yeah.
is like, it's like, yeah, you literally are having to say no, where before it was like, I just don't, you don't know where you're putting your money.
Yep. It's true.
One deal I think is really good, and I bought these, and when I bought these, it was I want to remind everyone, I got all 4 of these, and it was $50. It was $50 to get all 4 of these, and it wasn't a bad deal. But you can get the TMNT sketch card edition, and all these things, all the things that they're on, they all combine to make one giant diorama. The $19.99 price point is for the all 4 set. So it is $40 cheaper for all of these than what I paid, which bothers me, but also this is a really good deal. They're great. They're great figures too. I like them. They're great shelf pieces.
That's
So
cool.
if you haven't gotten these yet, it is definitely something I would suggest. I know I was talking to Mr. Storm when he was on satellite phone with me earlier in his yacht, and he was like, "Hey, did you see these sketch card turtles?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And then when we looked into it, it was like, "Yeah, you're getting all 4 of them." So that, hey, go pick these up. Now, I don't understand this, but I think it's because they're just trying to sell through their inventory, like Amazon's doing right now. But Hasbro Pulse is doing Power Day sales event for 2025. It's currently underway. They're offering discounts of up to 15% on select items. Hasbro Pulse premium members can enjoy even greater savings with potential discounts of up to 25%. The event is running from July 8th all the way through the 16th at 11:59 Pacific. No, Eastern time. What do you have you looked at this at all? Is there anything that
I haven't.
you
No,
trying
I'll
to
take a
see?
look. Yeah, I'll see if there's any Joes
Trying
there.
to see what's on there.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah,
everyone's throwing
they have
deals ahead of San Diego Comic-Con. They want your money before you spend on some of the new releases and drops.
yeah, because you have to like figure it out. The thing that I don't like is that well, here I'll show what's on what they're doing right now, because a lot of what they're showing is kind of like let's see, where's it at? Give me 1 second. I want people to see this. But I wasn't expecting this sale, but I mean, I guess they got to sell what they need to sell before they take all your money at Comic-Con as well. So
Yeah.
Okay. So if we look at what they have, they do. Let's see. Here we go. There you go. So they you could shop their power deals, their trendings. So they have some Transformer stuff. It's weird that the Strange Tales Moon Knight sold out already again. But they have from $39 to $33. So this is kind of like this was cool. They're doing a deal on this, which is pretty good. It's 10%. I think you might be able to actually honestly find that cheaper somewhere else. But if you need another HMS, you can grab that. I don't know if this is a good deal on this Black Series. I know someone else in the chat probably knows more than we do. But you can get the Last Command pack, which I think is pretty cool, right? I know people are gonna be like, "That's not a good pack. That's not what you're supposed to get." But yeah, so they have a lot of stuff like happening on this and like trending, and
I like that Halloween edition trooper.
Yeah, for $21. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I think
that would make a hell of a cosplay.
I wanted just for this the little extra thing comes with.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool trooper, though. It does look cool. I like when they do that, all the Halloween stuff. I know this is one of Mr. Storm's favorite.
It's underrated
favorite ones.
2-pack too. Underrated 2-pack Marvel Legends. So is that Odin. That Odin didn't get a lot of love, but he's a beefy boy. Really great legend. I would recommend too.
Okay. I do have that Odin. Yeah, so they got a lot of cool stuff. I know the Son of Hulk, $33, whole $3 off. $6, I guess, if I could do math right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a lot of cool stuff. This was cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
$40.
So we're gonna again, like, protect your wallets. There's a significant amount of money at stake here for the next couple of months.
Yeah,
but I'll take a look at that. We'll see.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much, like, it's like from now until the holidays, it's how much stuff can you pump out and get money from people. But yeah, I think the loyal subjects thing was a little crazy. I think that they I'm not a fan of what they did. Let's see. Let's hit up the fan bag real quick. I don't know why I call it fan bag. I think it's funny. Banger deal on TMNT. They need to work harder to make the Pulse membership more desirable. Well, I think where I think the Pulse membership is desirable, to be honest, is when you've ordered like 5 things and you haven't paid for shipping, right? Like I think that's it's better than what you would get for the Mattel memberships, right? The Mattel memberships, you get like the Gray Skull Club Gray Skull. But then if you want the Hot Wheel one, you have to be the Hot Wheel one. So by the time you're done trying to buy everything, you have to buy all the separate ones. So I think it pays for itself after you've bought like 5. I mean, right now, all of the stuff that's coming in from Hasbro, like I would be paying over $300 in shipping just from the stuff that's shipping to me, right? Like my 2 Cobra Snake armors are coming. The 2 that I got for you are coming. Then both of my Dragon Mans are coming. The Sentinels like all like the HasLab is coming. Like all of this stuff is like
postal services and UPS and FedEx. They're gonna hate your ass.
No, I know. Well, and
like what the hell?
Yeah, and I didn't know where I was going to be when I ordered the HasLab, so that is actually going to Alexander Thunderous Storm's house. But the Dragon Men are coming over to mine, and then all the Snake Armors are coming to mine.
Wait, but they don't drop. Do they airdrop on his yacht? Is that what happens? Helicopter?
I don't know. He told me that he had talked to whoever, and they're going to make sure that they pick him up.
An actual full-scale Rattler flies in and drops it off.
you know how Alex is when he gets a little too much money. Like it literally is going to be like a full scale,
Yep.
like an 8 prop drone dropping in his. He's wild. And so the question is, how do I get him from him since they're being dropped on his yacht?
Scuba dive. It's the only way.
Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve.
I got to Scuba Steve it. Not gonna lie, the Halloween clone trooper looks great. It does.
Yeah.
It does actually. Missing your energy, Alex. Well, he's not here. He's still missing it, but we miss him too. Let's see. He's trying to scratch out a few more cents before before that auction them discount to retailers. Thanks, but Rad is killing it. Yep. Everyone was confused and they thought that you got a little bit lighter.
I'm actually Alex in morph form. So they think, I mean, no one knows what's happening. With AI, do you really think I'm Rad?
I don't know. I don't. Yeah,
never know.
Could be Alex. We could have just done a whole like weird.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Apparently, Commander Bly is making threats that I'm going to be getting my stuff last. So, and Pulse membership is worth it for the shipping. Chat's absolutely correct. I know I am. Thank you, Mr. Alexander Thunderstorm. You do save a lot. You do save a lot. And he has now informed me. You guys all have this. We have this on video. That I will get my Rattler from him off of his yacht, and I'm not sure how that's going to work. And here we go. This is it. See, Rad identifies as Alex.
Yeah, I do, and I sometimes I identify as Dr. Brantley too. It just depends on the mood.
Yeah, it's wild. You know, no holds bar. Well, hey, look, as we start to like wrap up, you heard Rad mention it earlier. Before we get into that, make sure you let us know in the comments below. We appreciate the rewatch team. Let us know how you'd like these to be presented as rewatch, as we are trying to find the best experience possible for everybody. But remember that like 78% of you that do the rewatch do not subscribe, you don't follow, you don't click the links. So make sure you do that because Meeks in the chat is going to be paying for everyone's subscriptions this month. So make sure that that you like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, whatever, share it, do whatever you want. But going back earlier, Mr. Rad Insight has said that 1/18 scale is taking over the world. And that, my friend, is absolutely correct. And we want to announce this now. But Sunday, July 23rd at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we kicked off the Kickstarter with Chris Scott, the founder of Grindhouse Toys. We kicked off his Kickstarter, and we partnered up to bring you the final hour of his Kickstarter. So you can watch him on Saturday with the Purple Gang, and then he'll come over and we'll rap out, we'll hang out, we'll party, we'll have conversations. So we encourage everybody to come in and share this and jump in to ask your comments because he's going to be live. So we could get into the details on more descriptive of like what's actually happening with, your whatever your pledges are, how that's going to work. I know there's some conversation around like if I pledge, 40, what does this look like? If I do all in, what do I actually get? And so we really want to give a full send off. And from what I'm told, Alex is going to be taking over the Long Beach Harbor to park his yacht along with his service yacht. And he is going to be showing up to doing this show. We're not sure if he's going to be back in Friday in time. However, he has committed to doing this. So unless that's not happening, we'll all be there. But you were talking about specifically 1/18 scale, like taking over. Like, what do you think is causing that right now?
I think there's a part of it is just amazing independent toy makers and creators releasing like Chris Scott, where they're actually super cool, super posable. That's one, I think, too. I think we had talked about it last time, but I think just shelf space, easier to collect. You know, again, I got the big Hot Toys behind me. Not easy to put those bad boys. There's a limit to it, so I think that's the other case too. And I think it's like nostalgia, man. Like I love, like that's what I collected when I was a kid. Is that like that scale, like the old Joes and smaller figures. You know, the 1/6. It was like that was big. You never saw that, and obviously 1/12 scale. So I think for maybe older collectors, it takes you back. So I think it's a combination of all. And then you obviously be a Robo Skull and the vintage Joe stuff and this the vintage line Star Wars. Like I hope there's more of it, man. I'm excited about it, and I'm definitely excited about this project for sure.
Dr. Brinley, this is why we're firing Steve after this show. So yes, we do mean the 13th, this coming Sunday, not the 23rd.
Steve, let me
He does.
I'll send him a text. He could just pack his shit up and leave
He
again.
does.
28
He does.
firing.
Yeah, 28 fireman. This guy fucking every time. Yeah, look, I think that the 118 scale is blowing up just because people are starting to want the idea of being able to world build, right? So like how do you do that at scale? And I think the 118 scale is the right way to go. So look, we've seen the world, we've seen these figures in real life, and his figures are great. I have Necromancer. It's some of the best work I've ever seen at that scale, at that size. So, I really believe that this is the one. I think that he's probably one of the major ones that's kind of like kicking off that. Commander Blythe, thank you, sir. 499 sub, become a channel member. Dry hump that dry hump that thumbs up button. Hey, look, yeah, we can't. Commander Blythe says it better than all of us. But look, we got to wrap up because we got to make sure our friends over at Starlight Digest have a great show planned for you tonight. And just like magic, you will be transported over. However, do you have any last words or anything you want to warn people about on Friday? Because I think you and I are going to see something tomorrow, correct?
Yeah. We're gonna take the journey into Superman, and we're gonna do a review of Superman. And there's some good, the bad, the uglies reviews that we're seeing. So we will have our take on Superman. So I'm excited about that as we head into Pixels, Plastic, and Ink. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it just meh? So follow along, folks, and there might be something up and coming as we post maybe a little live social media, our thoughts before we get deep dive into that. And then, as you teased on Friday, that Mezco new the Rumbler. We'll talk a little bit more about that too. So I'm looking forward as an avid Mezco, especially Rumble Society's Gomez figures. Super stoked about talking about that. So I'm
Which, by the
excited for
way,
Friday.
that figure that comes with that car, though, like you could just sell that figure alone for $200.
Death Adder. Yeah. I mean, the original Death Adder that came out is like 250 comps on third party, and now they just released the other one. I'm sure it's going to be better, but yeah, I mean, Snakehead, that figure it falls in line with a lot of other lines, right? You want to put him in with your Joes. Death Adder, come on, man. Put him with Snake Eyes in a vehicle, so don't miss out, man. I don't work for Mezco, but it's a good figure.
For people watching, do they take the money out of your account right away, or is this one they charge when they ship?
No, they take it right away because we'll get it in a few weeks after con. They're pretty quick on the ship. Mezco doesn't do a lot of like pre-order, and then you got to wait 4 months to get it. They're pretty quick, and if you live closer to the East Coast, you get it sooner because that's where they're at. I think in Jersey is where their warehouse is. I think maybe somewhere near Long Island or something. I forget.
Okay.
So, yep.
Well, there you have it. We're going to be watching Superman, so you don't have to. You're welcome. Hopefully, you tune in. We might talk about it right before the show on Friday. We might not. We don't know. It just depends on whether or not our brain is complete slop by the time we're done watching it. But hey, at this rate, it might be better than Fantastic Four. So we will see. Again, we want to thank you all for jumping and showing in, Commander Bly. As always, it's fantastic to have you in the chat along with everybody else. Alexander Storm, I have no idea how you're able to chat while you're on your yacht.
Do you want me to
I
just?
don't know which ocean.
I'm Alex. Do you want me to snap back into Alex or just?
No.
I'll tease that. I'll
Don't.
tease it. Okay.
Yeah,
All
tease
right.
it.
Okay.
But look it. We appreciate everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. Again, on Wednesdays, it's your long stream day. You can catch Toy Mercs before us. You catch us, and then you're magically transported over into Sarlacc Digest. So hang tight and make sure you like, subscribe, follow. I am your lovely, gorgeous, sexy host, Chet Maddox, along with the ravishing. Ooh, what is your title? I was going with ravishing.
Ravishing Rad. I like that.
Ravishing Rad. That is now Ravishing Rad.
Ravishing Rad Rude. There you go.
Oh, Ravishing Rad Rude. There you go. Yeah, that is your new title. I will work on that. But hey, you just hang tight. You're gonna be heading over to the Sarlacc kids. We appreciate you. And yeah, hey, if you want to snap your fingers and become Alex again, so everyone knows that you have been AI, we'd love to see you do that. So
yeah,
on
let
the
me do
count
that
of
right
three,
now. One,
one,
two.